Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome to D Smith. Let's discuss. Welcome to today's session. Today's session is Drake penning his own bars. It's up to you to decide. I say no. The evidence shows he cannot write. He can write, but not at that prolific level. A lot of people think, right? The ghost writing stories continue. Why this just dropped out the blue? Who knows? But shout out to Direct Williams, Kia Shine on LA Altercation. Well, oh boy. Overriding best I ever had. Now you have to listen to him. Do he sound believable? Is he all cap? I believe the guy. And we know old boy is an actor. We know he is a actor. But let's jump right into it. Welcome to the session. Let's go, man.
You wrote one of the biggest records of the last 20 years in music.
It's now Diamond.
You wrote the record that broke Drake.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
best I ever had.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but also that record recently has hit a milestone, right?
Yeah. It just recently went diamond in May the 28th of this year, 25. Now I can put Diamond
Come on now.
writer on my name. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a Diamond record. I have a Diamond song. You know what I'm saying? Like so. When you see that, the credits, and you see Ian Coleman, which is Nakia Coleman, my government, Nakia Shine Coleman.
So you do have
Yeah.
publishing on that record.
Oh, yes.
You're
Yes.
locked in on it. It's
I've
not-
been locked in
Okay.
since the beginning of it. Let me tell you about one thing that soured me from the music industry. Right, it was like, all right, so Drake makes best I ever had. I make a song for Lil Wayne called "Do It for the Boy." This is a particular DJ in New York was trying to sell the beat that I did for Wayne to Jaheim with Daryl Jones at the time. This particular DJ was like, we can get 15,000 for the beat that you sold Wayne. And it was on the Drought mixtape. I said, okay, well, Wayne's just dropping songs and I'm not tripping. Wayne's my homie. I bought a verse from Wayne back in '02 for a Skinny Pimp album. So like I got a relationship with him. I'm not tripping if Wayne didn't pay me for that particular record because he's mixtape Wayne at that time.
He's dropping.
But if a label wants to buy the beat that he spit on, I'm gonna sell it. So I sent the invoice. The DJ calls me and says, "Bro, why did you sell the beat that we were gonna sell Jaheim to Drake?" I said, "Bro, who the fuck is Drake? I ain't sold no beat to nobody." He sent me this song. I said, "Oh shit." Dude then took the song that I made for Wayne, you know what I mean, and made it into best I ever had. But I already was signed with Universal Music Publishing. I already had the song that I had with Wayne already in the system for my publishing and all that for that song. So as soon as I said Universal, the best I ever had song, the CEO of Universal, Tom Wally at the time, was like, "Yeah, Sean, this is we did it. We put it through a musicologist, and this is definitely we're gonna give you 25% of this song." How they was able to do so is because Drake was signed to Universal Republic in the same system as well. So it was just a call from the top already, like boom, this is gonna be 25% of your song, and this is what it's gonna be. Cool.
Now I have a question. Do it sound like he is lying? Yes or no?
They had changed the credits on it, made sure I had myself together. It didn't happen until later that year at the BMI Awards in '09. When it ended up coming out and I won an award for BMI, best I ever had for being in a BMI award. So that's when it started to go viral that I had a co-write on the song. The person who was interviewing me like, "Hey Sean, what's this plaque you got here for?" I said, "It's for my co-write for the best I ever had." You know what I'm saying? I didn't think nothing of it. It went viral because they were saying Kid Sean wrote Drake's best I ever had. So that Drake came out and said, "I'm lying about it." And I'm like, well, wait a minute, like I'm at the BMI Awards and I actually got the actual plaque. So I mean, this is already locked in. I've been knowing this the whole time this song blowing up. I just didn't tell nobody about it. I just like, let me just get the check. I ain't tripping.
So what did you write?
I wrote, "We can do it real big, bigger than we ever done. I be up on everything the other niggas never on. So just do it for the boy. Do it for the boy" was the song that I sold Wayne.
No, let me stop you right there.
This was a hook.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the beat. This was
And the
first-
beat.
Yeah.
I did the beat, then boy wanted to sample the same exact. So I do the beat. You're a producer, you know.
Right.
I do the beat.
He chopped the master.
He take the master and do the same beat. You know what I'm saying? And flip it. You know what I'm saying? Like
and take the hook.
and take the hook. So I'm like, okay, damn, like so y'all just pretty much was
Made a
just
remake.
you made a remake of my original song for Wayne.
And it's a history. Old boy does that. Old boy steals other people's shit.
I'm not tripping, but I am going to get my. I had already had my credit. Universal had already made sure I get my 25%. It ended up being 25% of the song. They gave Wayne 12.5. They gave me 12.5
So Wayne got a piece also.
because it was from the original
He
song.
wrote-
Because he wrote on the original song.
Split that.
Yeah, so we split the splits. It was no problem at all.
Yeah.
So by the time it come out, I'm like, okay, cool. But that was a situation where he said out loud, and it was like, okay, this dude said out loud, I've got the credits are out there. It's clearly I won awards for that song in 2009, 2010, and 2011, and it was nominated for a Grammy the next year. I'm out there at the Grammy Awards for the thing. So it was like he never retracted his statement. He never came back and said, okay, I said that was wrong. Dude actually does have credit on that record.
Mm-hmm.
So people were coming at me like I'm doing something wrong. Like I'm like, well, why would you come out and say that? The fuck you mean? Why would I let someone?
You just asked a question first.
Yeah,
I didn't even come in.
Yeah, I wouldn't even come. This was
chasing in there.
it never was cloud chasing because you gotta think the song had been. I got this shit squared away in January of 2009. The song had been playing the whole year. I just been like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna collect. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping. It's already squared away. I came to the thing. I won my award. You know what I mean? Like if my name would even been on the award if I wouldn't have. It like my credit was already situated. So it was like, yeah. So it was like that kind of made me sour on the game because it was like, all right, y'all could love an artist so much of what they doing right now that you
15 years later, Drake stands will do that. They will not believe anything you say. Since old boy came into the game, he's been playing an actor as a rapper at an elite level. I'll give him that, but anything that comes out that man's mouth, lies, cap, don't believe him. Facts. That's why Kendrick Lamar kicked that boy back in. That's why old boy has never been able to recover. He don't write his own shit.
completely are oblivious of someone who has been. I've been in this game for forever, and I'm like, yo, I'm telling you exactly what is going on. This is what it is. So you let this man tell you I'm lying, and y'all believe this dude?
Of course.
Okay.
Do you think? I'm not sure. I'm just asking a question. Do you think that he might not have known you wrote it? Like
Right.
he just copying Wayne shit. Like, 'cause you know, sometimes artists do.
Yes,
Like you might
yes.
say some ill shit. I'm like, niggas borrow a line.
Yeah.
Like I just watched Jada and Fat Joe go back about
about the Southpaw line,
right?
yeah.
That was Jada's line.
Of course.
But Fat Joe used it paying homage on Make It Rain.
Yeah.
And when Ari Spears came up there, he's like, yo, Fat Joe, one of the illest lines you ever said was, learn to switch your game up and go southpaw. And Jada's like, that's my line. Right?
Yeah, I saw that.
So,
Yeah.
do you think that it was
just
like him,
didn't
he's
know.
thinking he's taking it from Wayne?
No doubt. And,
So when you come out and say, I wrote that, he's
He's
like,
like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I've said that exact
Yeah.
thing. I said when I went on Angela Lee show at the time, I was like, he just don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Like,
he know.
He just wasn't aware.
right.
It just wasn't clear. You know what I'm saying?
He
So,
know.
but that still doesn't stop his fans, the people who love
Right,
him.
at some point you gotta clear it up.
You know what I'm saying? You got.
Yeah,
That still don't stop them people coming and saying that I'm like I'm capping. I'm like, you know what I mean? But at that point, it's like that's when I started to be like, well, I don't have to be liked. I'm cool with not being liked. I have to understand that sometimes if you want to be liked by everybody, you might want to make ice cream or something or do something like that. But it's like this is just not a situation where I'm going to have to prove it. I'm fine with being the villain in the story or whatever. I have no problem with that because my children come first. I lay down with my wife and my kids, you know what I'm saying? So I have to make sure that they're covered. So there's no way I'm going to have to let anyone take anything from me that is rightfully mine. And I had to do that. So I'm sorry that if you were offended by that or if that makes you feel some sort of way. But if you know the business of the music publishing thing, anyone who has a sample on your song and you're sampling them and you're doing that, they're going to get a credit for that particular song. So it was a little music business 101, but it's also just kind of like made me look at the game a little bit like, okay, so fast forward to now. Well, the record is now diamond. And I'm so thankful that it's diamond, and I'm still eating off the record, and and I was able to. That was a blessing for me. That whole record was a blessing for me. But now you see with Drake and Kendrick and these things come on, and it's like you see that he's repeatedly doing sampling and taking things from other individuals and stuff like that. But it was it was the first one, and it was a trendsetter. I was like, is this what it was?
The other shit is sometimes they know, sometimes they don't. It's like you go to the studio, it's a bunch of motherfuckers there, right? For a lot of these artists, and this guy's giving an idea, this guy's giving an idea, and you're taking this idea, thinking this idea is original, right? Or
and he got it from somebody else.
And he got it from somebody else, and he's got, I don't know, I didn't take that, and it's like, yo,
No, listen. The first time I heard Best I Ever Had, I originally
thought of the Wayne.
I knew, I was like, Wayne already said this, and they're going crazy. I'm like, but he got this from Wayne. They're like, no, he didn't. This is
because he was the new.
So and that's why when Lil Wayne's son said, "Oh, my dad wrote for this guy." Well, what more do you need, man?
But it was. But now it's like Kendrick comes out and exposes all these things or whatever, and that's when I let like God fight my battles, man. I have nothing to prove.
So what is your relationship like with Drake and Yo Gotti?
Yeah, I don't have a relationship with Drake. Like, here's the story. So 2010, the song was nominated for a Grammy. All right, a friend of mine is in LA. He says, "Bro, it's a spot you need to go to on Sundays is popping." I had, all right, cool. We go to the spot. I had no idea that this was going to be Drake's Grammy party. You know what I'm saying? So we go into this Drake Grammy party, right? I'm not even knowing it now. I'm just coming into the door. I'm walking right to where the ops is at the time. You know what I mean? And not even knowing it because he just happened to rent the club out for his Grammy party. So I go in there and I see this dude. He's standing with these dudes up top. And he's, you know how Drake be when he's trying to be that hard look he be doing. So he was doing that or whatever, bro. And it was like, I'm looking, I said, oh, little dude mugging me like that. I looked up, and I was with my guy Jack Frost, and I was with this dude who trains De La Hoya. He was a fighter, you know what I'm saying? He was with us. And I'm just like, yo, look at dude up there, I think that's Drake. So I said, man, so I grabbed this little bottle, right? From somebody, I don't know who table it was. It was an empty bottle. I just grabbed a bottle. I was just like, all right, just hold the bottle. While I'm walking, while he's doing this, looking at me, he's standing on top of the furniture, this hand comes out of nowhere. It's Wayne. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Wayne, dap me up. While Wayne dapping me up, right, the security who noticed that Drake is looking at me snarling, he's on the way making a beeline to me. But the security dude
said Drake
when he sees Wayne hug me. So Wayne hugged me, whatever, like it's love. So now the security is like, he's kind of confused. So he's looking back at Wayne and all that, or Drake or whatever. I'm walking over to the bar. I get to the bar. This dude comes to me, he says, "What's up, blood? What you buying?" I said, "Man, I don't buy nothing, bro. I'm kinfolk, bro. It's our family." You know what I'm saying? He said, "My boy said he got a problem with him." I said, "Well, tell your boy to come talk to me." Drummer Boy was there that night. Drummer Boy said, "Yo, Sean, he had the Money to Blow song out with Drake at the time." He was like, "Bro, hey man, Drake want to talk to you, bro. But you know what I'm saying? I'm a man. You know, we gonna, you know, I'm with you, bro. We gonna just speak. You know what I'm saying, or whatever." I said, "Bro, it's cool." 145 club there now to LA. You know what I'm saying? I have to go back past the booth to get out the door anyway. Drake booth right there. So here we go. So I'm walking out, you know what I mean, and Drake come over, whatever, and he like, "Bro, what you tell people I wrote the song for like that?" You know what I'm saying? Like, now Drake is, I don't know, maybe 5'10", something like that. I'm 6'5", 6'6". So it's like when dude's saying it, whatever, I'm like, I approach him. Like I just stand up like, "Hey bro, look, man, your daddy is a Graham. You a Graham, and y'all Grahams live in Memphis. These dudes around you that's like all trying to be rah-rah, these folks will rob you. I'm just keeping it real with you." I was cleanly shaved. I said, "Bro, I just look like," I forget how old I was at the time, but I said my age. I said, "Bro, I don't know what age I was at the time, but I'm like, bro, I'm OG, bro. I just look like this." I said, "Bro, but let me tell you something. Whatever happens to this club tonight, if you had a wins tonight, the Grahams live in Memphis. Your dad being on Beale Street, bro, I know your peoples. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about this and let's not make this a situation, because I'm going back to Memphis and I'm gonna have the wins there. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what I said, bro. So I said, let's just keep it respectable in here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's clearly a misunderstanding, but I'm not finna be, you know what I mean? It's not finna."
What'd he say?
And then it was like Mac Main was pushing because the dudes was like, my dude's right here, my dude's right here. He had some dude right here, he had a dude right there. Everybody back and forth. Mac Man was like, just let them niggas talk, just let them talk. You know what I'm saying? And Mac, he's always been a real one. So it was like, it was like just cool to. And so when I talked to him, I said, bro, the music. He said, the music all I got. I said, nigga, the music is all I have. And I said, like, and just because you misconstrue what's going on, bro, I'm not finna let nobody run off with nothing that's mine. You know what I mean? And so that was the conversation we had. Bam. The next day, I see him at this other club I'm at. You know what I mean? And he was just like, you know, he standoffish, but he didn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't that same snarl or rah-rah dread stuff that I seen when he was looking at me and staring and shit. Like, and it just be weird, bro, because it's like, you have a connection with Memphis because your dad from there, and it really was just a misunderstanding on his end. And I wish it would have. I just wish it, because we probably could have made some dope music together. You know what I'm saying? Really made some dope shit together. But you know, at the end of the day, I don't really have a relationship with him. But I'm still thankful that record went down, and I still eat off that record. And that check was the best I ever had. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, the ghostwriting stories will never go away. Shout out to K Shine, and we already know old boy is an actor, man. Yeah, shout out to Direct Williams. Go check out their page. Like, comment, subscribe. Welcome to the session, man. I'm out of here.